John Harbaugh is officially the next head coach of the New York Giants. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Fireside Giants. I'm your host, Anthony Rivardo. And how are we feeling today? John Harbaugh, the next head coach of the Giants. Every time I say it, it sounds less real, but it is real. It's a reality. The Giants got the deal done today, and they hired him, and I couldn't be more happy and more excited. So figured I'd hop on a live celebrate with you guys for 30 minutes. I know most of you are probably watching the playoff football game. I've got it on in the background, but let's talk some John Harbaugh. Let's talk some New York Giants. Guys, everybody filling into the chat right now. Drop your thoughts down below. Drop a big W for the New York Giants landing the white whale of this coaching search, getting their guy, John Harbaugh. Coach of the year, Super Bowl champion, future Hall of Famer. John Harbaugh is the next head coach of the New York Giants. Let's get excited, guys. Let me see some W's in the chat. Obviously, I already posted a video on the YouTube. If you're viewing over on YouTube, go check out that instant analysis reaction. But I want to talk about the New York Giants organizational restructuring that's about to take place here. Now that John Harbaugh is directly reporting to John Mara. No longer is the head coach reporting to the general manager for the Giants. They have made a massive shift here. 100 years of business that they've done where the head coach always reported to the GM and the GM reported to the owner. That's been undone. Now, the head coach, named John Harbaugh, reports directly to ownership like he did when he was with the Baltimore Ravens, reporting to Steve Bisciotti and not necessarily reporting to Ozzie Newsome or Eric DeCosta. It was more of a collaborative partnership, and now that's what the New York Giants are going to have in place here as they hire John Harbaugh and lead this new era. Harbaugh said it. His expectation, playoffs. He wants to make the playoffs next season. His expectation, compete for the playoffs and compete for championships. Music to our ears, the New York Giants going ahead and changing the entire identity of their organization, rebuilding the program. This is what we've all been begging for, waiting for, and it's a welcome change that I am really excited about. So everybody tuning in, drop your thoughts, get your hype down below in the comments section. I'm really excited about this, and I'm sure many of you are as well. Can't believe it's official. Of course, over the last 24 hours, there was a lot of doom and gloom from Giants fans who were nervous about them potentially fumbling on the 1 yard line here as John Harbaugh's contract took a little while to get signed. But as we now know, that is only to restructure their organization to make way for John Harbaugh, and restructure they have. John Harbaugh stepping in and now as the next coach of the New York Giants. So they made the changes that he requested. And they're going to go ahead and move forward and have John Harbaugh run the show for them. Looks like the live chat is not working. Let me see if I can fix that. I'm going to go ahead and try and do that for you guys right now. And that should be fixed if you refresh the page. We should have the live chat up here for the live stream. Maybe not. Let me go ahead and get this fixed for you guys so that we can have a fun discussion. That's what we're here for. So let me go ahead and do that. Live chat off, live chat back on. Let's see. There we go. We got one chat coming in. Nappy Boys saying, will Banks take a step in the right direction, you think, under this new regime? I will say this. Banks did take a step in the right direction as a kick returner towards the end of the season. Now, as a cornerback, I really don't know if he's going to have a future with this team. But I will say, I think that his playing style kind of fit what we saw in Baltimore, kind of being when he was coming out of Maryland. First of all, Maryland, Baltimore. And then I think that he kind of played with that Baltimore style when he was at Maryland with the Terps. Now, that didn't translate to the NFL, but if anybody's going to get something out of Deontay Banks, it's going to be John Harbaugh. I just don't know if he's actually going to see the field or be on the team. So we'll see. Donkey Eater says hi. What's up, Donkey Eater? QB1 Prods, it's official. Yes, it is. John Harbaugh, next head coach of the New York Giants. I was not blocking you from speaking, Mike Nixon. I was just trying to fix it. Rick, yeah, Tony Romo, unbearable. He's really tough to listen to. It's funny, when he first started out all those years ago, he was pretty good. He has just devolved over the years. I don't know what happened there. But guys, I said it before the live chat was working. Drop your W's, drop your hype in the chat right now. Everybody put a W if you are excited about John Harbaugh as the next head coach of the New York Giants. And please smash the like. Nah, Mike, I know that you were messing. And I'm messing too. I'm going to have some fun. And it's a Saturday evening now. It's not even the afternoon. It's a Saturday evening. So let's go ahead and Enjoy a fun little beverage and celebrate John Harbaugh as the next head coach of the New York Giants. Say we? Yeah, Jim Nantz and Phil Simms was goated. A lot of W's coming in. Cheers, everybody. Like my Super Bowl 46 glass. Hey, what are we hoping for? More Super Bowls. Who's going to bring us there? If you ask me, I totally believe John Harbaugh will. I loved that quote from him today. Guys, I know you probably have a lot of questions about the new organizational structure, how things are going to change with John Harbaugh. Drop those questions below because I just did a reaction video recapping this on the channel, but I figured it'd be good to go live and kind of give you guys an opportunity to ask specific questions and give you answers based on the knowledge that I have from all of the research and reporting and everything that I've done. So you guys go ahead and drop your questions. But this question, the answer is Bills. Bills are going to win this game. I don't care. I know that a big man just scored for the Broncos, but any news on his coordinators? That's a great first question here. So Todd Monken is expected to join his staff, most likely as the offensive coordinator, though it could be in a different role, but that's very unlikely. He's expected to be the offensive coordinator for the Giants. However, he's also interviewing for a bunch of other positions, OC and HC, so there's a chance that Monken gets a different job. But the expectation is he will be here with the New York Giants as their offensive coordinator. In terms of defensive coordinator, there's been a couple of names floated out. Jim Schwartz is one of them. I know a lot of Giants fans really like Jim Schwartz at DC for the Browns. He could potentially shake free from Cleveland. He would be on the Giants shortlist according to Peter Schrager of ESPN, formerly NFL Network. And now we're also hearing Anthony Weaver, defensive coordinator for the Dolphins, who you guys know I really like. He is on the short list and will probably get an interview for the defensive coordinator position. And the big one that everybody's excited about, defensive passing game coordinator for the Denver Broncos, Jim Leonhard, formerly defensive coordinator at Wisconsin. He is among the top candidates for the New York Giants defensive coordinator job. And let me tell you, that's the name that really intrigues me. Jim Leonhard. I mean, that guy has future head coaching vibes to him, future head coaching potential for sure. I think that he could be the next Jesse Minter to Jim Harbaugh, the next Mike McDonald to John Harbaugh. So that would be a great pick for DC, in my opinion. I would love Jim Leonhard as a defensive coordinator. So a lot of great options. Let's get some more of these questions. I do see your super chats rolling in. We'll get to those in a second. Question marks about scouting. Giants are going to overhaul their scouting department now. You can almost guarantee that. The way that the Giants scout and the way that the Giants operate versus how the Ravens did, completely different. Ravens, very analytically and data driven. The Giants are going to make that shift. You can expect them to build out an entirely new department inside the organization that focuses on analytics. And I'm pretty excited about that. I know that's a buzzword that not a lot of people love, analytics. What it really means, collection of data to give the Giants a statistical edge on game days. That's how you need to look at it. That's what the Ravens have had for all these years because of Harbaugh. That's what the Giants are about to have. Very exciting. Time for the John and Jackson dynasty. Let's freaking go. Is Carmen Brasillo staying? Not sure, but I did see a report that even before the New York Giants had this deal signed with John Harbaugh, they had already started to tell some of the staff members in the organization that they were probably going to be moving on and making major changes and to prepare for a potential layoff kind of situation. So I don't think Brasillo was part of that. I think Brasillo's probably going to be retained, but I don't know that for sure. And the Giants have already started to inform the people in the organization that changes are coming. David, what's up, David? Appreciate you joining me. I saw you at Giants Collective the other night as well. A regular viewer of the channel. Really appreciate all the support. Thank you for the super chat saying, instead of W's, let's throw the ones in the air to acknowledge your new tribal head coach. Yes, sir. Let's do it. Let's do it. Shane is neutered is a big question, and that is the big topic of conversation in the fallout here from John Harbaugh being hired as the next head coach of the Giants. If you guys did see the interview that I did 1 week ago today with Ian O'Connor of The Athletic, one of the questions that I asked him is, what would a John Harbaugh hiring mean for general manager Joe Schoen? Would he be fired? Would he change his role? What happens? And he told me Joe Schoen is well aware of what hiring John Harbaugh would mean for the New York Giants. Even though he knows it will result in a role adjustment, he has been a relentless recruiter of John Harbaugh. He is prepared to adjust his role. Here we are 1 week later. The Giants have officially hired John Harbaugh. And Joe Schoen is officially altering his role within the organization. So that was a huge scoop that was provided by Ian O'Connor here on the Fireside Giants channel. That's why we sub. And that's also why we say thank you to Ian for that great info and that great interview. But this is very exciting stuff. No longer is Schoen running the roster and the organization. Harbaugh directly reports to ownership now. Big deal. Head coach of the Giants has never done that, not even Coughlin. Yeah, I'm really interested in seeing who the DC is because I think there's a lot of talent on this defense, and I'm excited to see who they get to orchestrate that talent. Let's go through these super chats. We got a bunch pouring in. Thank you guys for the supers. 8-ball, Chuchalili. I'm sorry, I didn't get the full pronunciation on that. Would like some youth on the staff, Charlie Weiss Jr. or Davis Webb? I think both of those guys are great picks on the offensive side of the ball for sure. Charlie Weiss Jr., for those of you who are unfamiliar, is the offensive coordinator who worked with Jackson Dart at Ole Miss. He was the OC there. Now, kind of to clarify, though, that offense was ran by the head coach, Lane Kiffin. Lane Kiffin now hired by LSU, head coach there. Offensive coordinator Charlie Weiss expected to join him. He actually has joined him. So he just got a new job at LSU. I really doubt Charlie Weiss makes his way up to the NFL level right now. Very young, following Lane Kiffin, literally just joined the new program, but maybe he will. And if he does have an interest in working with Dart again, yeah, I'd be really excited to get a young coach like Charlie Weiss with a lot of promise on the staff. Davis Webb as well, former New York Giant, as we all know. Do some research on the 2022 season. It's very interesting. Davis Webb was reportedly a major piece of the puzzle for the Giants' success that year, helping develop Daniel Jones and the rest of the quarterbacks on that roster and orchestrating the offense in tandem with Shea Tierney and Brian Dable and Mike Kafka. So really like Davis Webb, and now he's having tremendous success developing in Bo Nix. I'd really like him as a potential OC candidate. Joe Africano, thank you for the super chat saying, when will they start interviews for coordinators? This week, probably. I think this is going to be a pretty quick moving process because around the NFL, there are a lot of coordinator interviews going on already. There's a lot of openings as well. Obviously, there's all of the head coach openings, which are then going to result in new offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator openings. So you've got 9 head coaching, 8 now. The Giants are obviously filled. So 8 head coaching openings still standing. So 8 coordinators on both sides of the ball potentially still standing. Plus other teams fired their offensive coordinators and defensive coordinators like the Eagles and the Lions and some other teams. So you're going to have a lot of competition, which is why you can expect the Giants to move very quickly on their offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator interviews. They should start probably by Wednesday because John Harbaugh will be in the building to Monday, but Tuesday he does his intro press conference since Monday's a holiday, and then Wednesday I expect them to start getting ready to do these interviews. Davey, thank you for the super chat saying, we about to knock Philly off their fucking porch? Yes, sir. I absolutely hope so. I'm so beyond sick and tired of losing to the division. Go look at John Harbaugh's record within this division. Over the last 18 years when he was coaching for the AFC North Baltimore Ravens, anytime he would face the NFC East, it was pretty much always belt to ass. Very exciting stuff. Jason Benjamin, thank you for the super chat saying, I really think Charlie Bullen should get a look. Players liked playing for him, and he knows the player's strengths and weaknesses. He's also young. I don't disagree, but the ceiling is not there, in my opinion, and neither is the floor. He's just not, okay, he's a good candidate, and he is somebody that the players like. I would like him to stay on the staff in some capacity, but he is not as strong of a candidate as these other guys like Anthony Weaver. Like, he's a proven talent. Like Jim Leonard is more proven and has a higher ceiling, arguably. So I like Charlie Bullen. I think he should stay with the staff. I think he probably will because he has a good relationship with Joe Schoen, and Joe Schoen's still going to be involved here. But at the end of the day, John Harbaugh is being brought in to rebuild the program. He's going to attract the best of the best head coaches or former head coaches, yeah, but best of the best coaches to his staff, like he did all throughout his tenure with Baltimore. I expect him to hire a really good defensive coordinator. Maybe Bullen stays, but I don't think that he's going to be the DC. Yeah, I would love Davis Webb as a potential head offensive coordinator for the Giants. Yeah, Omnipotent. It's funny you say that. I was actually doing some research on Oscar Delp a couple months ago because I do like him as a mid-round pick in this draft. I know he used to have very high, like first, second year buzz or round buzz, but that changed. I think that he could be a sleeper. I don't think Webb will be a QB's coach because that would be a lateral move for him. If the Giants offer him an OC job, maybe he comes over here, but I don't think he'd make the lateral move. The number one change that we know so far, John Harbaugh is reporting to the ownership. He does not report directly to the GM. He reports directly to the owners. 100 years that the New York Giants have been around, never has the head coach directly reported to ownership. The GM has always done that. It's a major change, and that's just change number one. Christian, thank you for the super chat saying streaming games this year. Y'all stopped this year. We did, and I'm really sorry about that. Honestly, we got a little bit apathetic because of all of the losing, but the plan is to start streaming the games again next season, especially now that we've got the excitement here of John Harbaugh. So I would like to. I really want to. Major advantage to be the first to hire the head coach. Giants can move along and get the best of the best coordinators and so on and so forth. And also they have more time to prepare with Harbaugh leading into, of course, the scouting combine, the Senior Bowl. Those things take place next month. Like, it's a quick process. It's the offseason. There's not much of a break. After the Super Bowl, a week later, those draft processes begin. And then as soon as the combine ends in early March, you've got free agency. So it all moves very quickly. Very important to get the head coach hiring done ASAP. Yardley HBK, thanks for the super chat saying, hey, brother man, who going to be our defensive coordinator and special team coach? Any idea? I don't know about special teams coach. That's kind of a mystery to me. I'm excited to see how that process unfolds since, of course, we know that John Harbaugh has a special teams background. Expect him to hire somebody really good for that. But I don't know any candidates for special teams coordinator just yet. But defensive coordinator, the three candidates that I do know of, Jim Schwartz, Anthony Weaver, and Jim Leonard. So keep those names in mind. All really good candidates. Cameron Simpson, thank you, my friend. Literally my best friend. Happy to see you in here saying, how many Ravens free agents you think you'll be picking up over the next season or two? Probably a couple. I don't think they'll overkill it. I know Tyler Linderbaum is a big name who's going to be hitting the free agency market most likely this offseason. Doesn't sound like the Ravens are going to hand him an extension. Obvious fit with the New York Giants, great offensive lineman who could really revamp the interior of that line. I don't think the Giants are going to be able to afford to extend him, though. I think, or to sign him, though. I think he's going to be too expensive for a center, and they have other priorities, strictly put. But outside of Linderbaum being one of the free agents, Isaiah Likely is a free agent. Now, that's a name that I could see the Giants having some interest in. Right now, they've got one starting level tight end on their roster, arguably, which is Theo Johnson. Behind him, they do have Daniel Bellinger, but he's also a free agent. So they're going to need to sign a second tight end. And Harbaugh and Monken love to run offenses with two and maybe even three tight ends on the field sometimes, but a lot of two tight end sets. So Isaiah Likely. And also, this is the big one that I think you can almost guarantee. Patrick Ricard. He's a free agent this offseason. Monken's going to step in here, run the offense. He's going to want a fullback. I think it makes sense for him to bring his fullback from Baltimore, arguably the best fullback, top three in the NFL right now, and Patrick Ricard. That's a no-brainer signing for me if I'm the New York Giants. They haven't had a fullback in years. I would love to see them bring the fullback back and get Patrick Ricard. Also, not a Ravens free agent, but just keep an eye on where the Giants spend their money this offseason because I have a gut feeling they're going to spend that kicker. I think they're going to go ahead and get themselves a really good kicker. That's going to be a priority for John Harbaugh. I expect them to go out, cut Graham Gano, and make a big move at kicker. Here's Johnny. Good reference to The Shining. I love that movie. Yeah, Harbaugh has a plus 500 record against everyone in the NFC East with the exception of the Giants. He's 500 with them. Pretty great. Raheem Morris is an interesting name for defensive coordinator. Giants did interview him for HC. We'll see, if he gets an interview for DC. I think he's interviewing for other HC jobs too. Yeah, Tyler Linderbaum. A lot of people like him, want him. I think he's going to be too expensive, but who knows? Maybe the Giants will pursue him. We'll see. He's definitely one of the best centers in the league. Sean, good to see you in here. I saw a DM pop across my screen, but I was in the process of editing the video, getting the live stream set up, but I got you, man. I'll respond soon. Busy on the weekends for sure. Raz, I think we're starting to see that light. Andre saying, yo, Rivardo, as a Giants fan here in Brazil, I'm really happy better days will come. You're absolutely right. They will. Shout out to you tuning in all the way in Brazil. Happy to have you in here. Love when FSG goes international. Setting up a new modem, but I'm here. Cheers, my Big Blue fam. Hey, man. Cheers to you, Sean. Appreciate you, buddy. David saying, which Ravens could you see on this team? Appreciate the super chat, David. I did just answer that, but I'll touch over it a little bit more. And you know what? I'm going to actually look up Ravens impending free agents. Let's see who else could potentially be available. Of course, Tyler Linderbaum is the big name. Chidobe Awuzie, I could see, former Cowboys cornerback, of course, most recently playing with the Ravens. He's an unrestricted free agent. I could see him as cornerback depth. I mentioned Tyler Likely. Their punter is a free agent, so keep an eye on him. Also, Kyle Van Noy. He's been a journeyman in the NFL for a very long time. He seems like a good fit for some edge depth, as I do suspect they might move off of Kayvon Thibodeau, so we'll see. Yep, it's official, Lucas, and thank you so much for the gifted memberships here. That's big time. A lot of memberships right there, 50 of them. Lucas, you're the man. Really do appreciate you. Thank you. So clearly we need to get new emojis for the chat. We'll work on that. We'll get some Harbaugh emojis. Hey, you know what? Deontay Banks looked pretty good on special teams. Let's see him there. Yeah, Patrick Ricard is a great free agent target for me, in my opinion. How's this Broncos-Bills game looking? Obviously, I'm missing it right now. I'm actually going to pull that up if you guys don't mind on the side here. Give me 1 second just to log into my Paramount Plus and get that going. So I'll watch that game on the side. Okay, cool. Who are you guys rooting for in this one? Denver or Buffalo? I'm rooting for Buffalo. I love Josh Allen. And sorry, guys, I hate Sean Payton. I know he's a former Giant, technically. I think that guy is the most unlikable coach in the sport. I won't ever forgive him for Bountygate. I think he should have had a lifetime ban for that. I doubt Lou Anarumo ends up the DC. He's still interviewing for HC jobs. And also, I just wouldn't like that. But I guess it's possible. Antonio Pierce is also a possibility. I think there's a good chance he ends up somewhere on the Giants staff. Apparently, they were super impressed with his head coaching interview. He kind of blew them away in some ways. So, yeah, I don't think he's going to get an HC job. I could definitely see him getting some job with the Giants, though. Any other noteworthy interior O-line entering free agency that the Giants could sign? Let me take a look. Hold on. Let me fix my tabs because they're all over the place now. Let's go NFL free agents 2026. Sorry for all the mouse clicking. All right. They are going to need some interior offensive line help, even though I know the Giants' offensive line made a lot of progress this year. Of course, they did. Top 10 by PFF. But Greg Van Roten is 36 years old and a free agent. So Kevin Zeitler is also 35 years old and a free agent, and he would be an upgrade over Greg Van Roten. So maybe that would be the old guy that I pick up. Who else? It's kind of slim pickings out there, guys. I'm not going to lie to you. Joel Bitonio is going to be a free agent. Wow. I mean, he's 34 now. Wyatt Teller. Wow. Both of those. The Browns have like their whole offensive line is about to be free agents, and they have some pretty good offensive linemen. I'd be interested in that. Another one, this is very interesting. Elijah Vera Tucker is going to be a free agent. He's a tackle/guard. He is super talented. He's just always hurt, but I'd be willing to take a flyer on him because I suspect his contract would be rather reasonable since he is always hurt. Same for Tevin Jenkins, who's also got a lot of injury problems and also playing for Cleveland. Their whole offensive line is up for grabs this offseason. I'd be very interested in Tevin Jenkins, though. But yeah, those are some of the interior offensive linemen. Leo Stuns, thank you so much for the super chat saying, I pray this is the start of a dynasty. We've suffered enough. Love y'all and shout out to the best Giants channel on YouTube. Go G-Men. Thank you, Leo. That does mean a lot to me. Appreciate it. We do grind here on the channel, and I love doing it. It's amazing. But I'm with you. I hope this is the start of a dynasty. In fact, I actually really see a path for it to be. I think that Harbaugh can bring some winning immediately to the Giants. I think he can sustain that. I think he can coach for another 10 years. He's 63. I know that's old, but it's not too old to coach for another 10. And on top of that, he's got a high level of power and involvement in the front office already. When he retires, hopefully in 10 years after a successful long decade with the Giants, he could then just move into the front office and continue to build out a dynasty. So I pray you're right, and I pray this is the truth. I might be getting too excited, looking too far ahead, but I'm really hoping it's the case. 3-4-4-3 or hybrid defense. If you're asking me, I think a hybrid defense is just the best to play in the modern NFL. I think that 3-4 is what the Giants are primarily in these past few seasons, although they have been somewhat hybrid. But I honestly think 4-3 makes a lot of sense for them. I think that having Dexter Lawrence at the nose tackle in the 3-4 is why they're in the 3-4. But I actually think that it kind of exposes some of their weaknesses as well, because now instead of having just 2 interior defensive linemen in a 4-3, they are required to have 3 interior defensive linemen in a 3-4, and that exposes how bad the interior defensive line talent has been for the New York Giants. So I would like them to actually run to more of a base 4-3 or even a base nickel and a hybrid defense ultimately. No more Tony emojis in the chat. Everybody's rooting for the Bills. Good. I'll say this. One other thing. I saw this quote from John Harbaugh. I think he said it to Ian O'Connor. Let me read this one off to you guys. You're going to love this. Love this. Ian O'Connor says, John Harbaugh, which of the famous ex-Giants made an impact on you in talks? Quote, Tom Coughlin. He was a big part of this process for me. I spent a lot of time on the phone with Tom. I've admired him as a coach and friend, and he really encouraged me to go forward with the Giants, end quote. Tom Coughlin, an absolute New York Giants legend, delivering in the clutch one last time. Thank you, Mr. Coughlin. Jason, thanks for the super chat saying Linderbaum is overrated in your opinion. Rather keep JMS, re-sign Schlottman, upgrade right guard, re-sign Jermaine Illuminor, Van Roten for depth. Continuity is important. Well, I agree with you there. I think continuity on the O-line is of the utmost importance. And so I would like to see some continuity maintained through the re-signing of Jermaine Illuminor. But realistically, I could see them making upgrades. I want to see JMS take another step forward before potentially committing to him. But I do think they should bring in competition for him. But I wouldn't sign Linderbaum to the nearly $20 million salary that he's probably going to get. I hate Sean Payton because of Bountygate, and I just think he's rude. And yeah. Captain Alex is en route to the Knicks game. He's busy tonight. He's going to the Knicks game. So shout out to Alex. I'm happy for him. That's very exciting stuff. Elijah Vera Tucker. I like that. Vera Tucker at guard. Yeah, guys. Can't stay healthy, though. You're right. But he's good. He's a good player. Love the show. Yeah, Harbaugh, do you think Carmen Brasillo remains in his role? Thank you so much, Ryan. Yeah, I think Carmen Brasillo will stay, but it's really up in the air. The whole staff has been informed that changes are coming, so we'll see. If I had to predict it right now, I think the coordinators are going to be Todd Monken and Jim Leonard, and we're going to do a breakdown on Jim Leonard in the coming days on the channel, so just keep an eye on that if you aren't familiar with him. Happy John Harbaugh Day. What number 2 or 3 receivers are going to be in free agency? Let me go ahead and take a look. That's C. Kirk with the Houston Texans. He's going to be a free agent. Christian Kirk, but he's going to get a lot of money probably. Tutu Atwell is another one. I'm not crazy about Tutu Atwell. I'm not crazy about Hollywood Brown. Jawan Jennings is pretty good when he's healthy. I don't think Rashid Shaheed's going to be available. I mean, obviously George Pickens is going to be available. He's going to get $30 million a year. Alec Pierce is a guy that I told you guys last offseason I wanted the Giants to trade for before he had a career year. Guess what? He had a career year, and he's going to get like $20 million per season probably. Good player, though. It's a little slim. Not a ton of free agent wide receivers that are just jumping off the screen to me. I low-key like Jalen Coker with Carolina, but he's an exclusive rights free agent. I doubt he gets free. I don't know. If you guys have other names in mind, drop them, but Diami Brown is not moving the needle for me. I think they're going to have to address it through the draft or just re-sign Wan'Dale. Yeah, probably re-sign Wan'Dale. Yeah, I think so. If the Broncos lose today, I think they're going to jump pretty quickly on Jim Leonard. Mike, I see that you said read the last comment. I found it. Hear me out. Do you think it's possible we move Scat to fullback? We could draft like a Nick Singleton from Penn State or Katron Allen from Penn State. No, I mean, Scatteroo is a running back. He's going to be the starting running back for the Giants. He's not a blocker. He's a runner. He's going to hit you, and he's going to hit you with the ball in his hands, and he's going to get into the end zone. So I think that they are going to get a fullback to clear space for Cam Scatteroo, though. Yeah, watch out for Anthony Weaver. I've been saying that since the John Harbaugh rumors started. I did that episode over a week ago discussing my dream Giants coaching staff. I had Harbaugh at HC and I had Weaver at DC. So keep an eye. I didn't see this report. I'm going to have to look into that, but I would hold out hope for Brasillo. I think there's a good chance he would interview well with Harbaugh. I think the guys on the staff right now are going to be given a fair shot and probably interview with Harbaugh, but obviously he's going to have his own guys that he wants to bring. So we'll see. Sam Fountain, thanks for the super chat saying, I am glad that he is our coach, but if he only reports to ownership, just feels wrong. Memories of Wink bothers me, so Shane was fired. Shane was not fired. He's not reporting only to ownership. He directly reports to ownership in collaboration with Joe Shane. So now instead of Shane directly reporting and having final say on everything, it's going to be more of a collaborative decision, and then final say probably goes to Harbaugh. So he's not fired, Shane, but he definitely had his role adjusted. But it's not wrong. I think it's the right way to do it. What's been wrong is the way that the Giants have been operating for the last X amount of years that they've sucked. So this could be the move that changes it. He was DC at Wisconsin, Jim Leonard. Oh, true. I think he retired. Didn't Kadarius Toney retire, guys? This is a great comment from Davey. We are Christian Kirk. We carry the game. We fight for the Texans. We honor his name. We are Christian Kirk. We'll make Houston known. I don't even know what the reference is in that joke, but yeah, Jordan Tyson would be sick, but he is always injured. He's the most talented receiver in this class, but constantly hurt. Arguably, I mean, Tate's really good too. Yes, we're definitely going to have a better special teams unit with Harbaugh. That's going to be a major point of emphasis. And I've had enough of the Scottish hammer. Hammer him away. I think I probably have him. It's tough to say because, whoa, that was a bomb. That was a bomb from Bo Nix. Touchdown. Broncos take the lead. Is that Lil Jordan Humphrey? Lil Jordan Humphrey playing playoff football. Why did Joe Shane and Brian Dable not hold on to him? Now Lil Jordan Humphrey's catching touchdowns in the playoffs, divisional round with the Broncos. Whatever. That was a bomb. Guys, I know what the reference was. I was just kidding. What's up, Brandon? Saying, do you think Caleb Downs, Ed Reed type with the 5th overall pick and wide receiver with our 2nd round pick? I think there's a really good chance. I think Caleb Downs, the chance of Caleb Downs being the pick at number 5 overall skyrocketed with the John Harbaugh hiring, just because it's not even because he's a safety that's similar to, I know you said Ed Reed here, but really similar to Kyle Hamilton. Let's make that comparison. It's really just because I think if he's on the board at 5, regardless of position, he will be the BPA, the best player available. And the Ravens always go BPA in the 1st round. That's been a standard for them throughout the Harbaugh era. I expect that to be translated to the Giants. No longer taking the best player available at a position of need, just taking the best player on the board. That's what I think the Giants are going to start doing. Oh, guys, my phone is on 1%. Let me plug that in real quick. Sheesh. How will I know when my girlfriend texts me? Who am I rooting for in this game? Buffalo, baby. One thing Harbaugh will do is clean up the roster. Absolutely. I think, do I keep Ben Sauls on the roster? I think that he's going to definitely fight for the kicker job. All right, my fault. I had to respond to Brookie. Gonna have to catch the replay. My Giants fam dinner is ready. Man, go enjoy your dinner. Celebrate. Have a good time. John Harbaugh is the head coach of the Giants, man. Yeah, running around like a chicken with your head cut off. I've been jumping up and down. Super exciting stuff. Somebody asked me about cut candidates. Where was that one? Okay, here we go. What player cuts would you say are locks? Let me take a look. I'm on over the cap right now. I don't think he's a lock, but I think Bobby Okereke is a cut candidate. Don't know if he's a lock, but definitely possible they release him. It's $9 million in savings. But then what are you going to do to replace him? Because you're going to need to replace him. And then you're probably going to end up spending that $9 million or close to it replacing him. The number one lock is James Hudson. That guy's gone, and the Giants will save over $5 million by cutting him. Devin Singletary also saving $5 million by cutting him. That's probably a lock. Graham Gano, you're saving $4.5 million. That's a lock. Who else? I think those are the big ones. And not a cut candidate, but potential cap casualty. I think they could trade Thibodeau. If they trade Thibodeau, they would save $14.7 million, his entire cap hit. So definitely keep an eye on that. And very unlikely that John Runyon Jr. would get cut, but $9 million in cap savings if they do cut him. Don't expect it though. But yeah, those are the big names that stand out to me right now. Let's see. Yo, good luck, my brother. Have some fun. Oh no. Josh Allen fumbled it. And they got another field goal out of it. Denver's up 10. Great. Listen, I would cut Darius Slayton, but there's just no point to. He's a healthy body, so you're going to hold on to him because you're not saving anything by cutting him. The Giants would save $160,000 by cutting Slayton. That's just not worth it. Let's have a cut stream with our Harbaugh hats on. Yeah, we should. Well, actually, I'm going to do something similar to that. Now that Harbaugh is the head coach, I'm going to bring back the Madden Rebuild series, but I'm going to do it from the perspective of John Harbaugh. So I'm going to make signings like a Patrick Ricard because it's John Harbaugh. I'm going to make cuts based on Harbaugh draft picks based on Harbaugh and kind of go from there. That's going to be the idea here. So very excited for it. So stay tuned. Anthony Weaver's a New York guy. I didn't even realize that. That's pretty cool. I think they're going to try and re-sign Wandale. I don't know for sure if it's going to happen, though. You guys got to keep in mind, C. Kirk with the Houston Texans, he makes $18 million per season as a slot receiver. He set the standard for good slot receivers at $18 million, and that was without I lost power. Guys, I'm back. I lost power. Yeah, no. It's not you guys, it's me. I think the Eagles are trying to attack me. The Philadelphia Eagles are trying to rain on our parade and ruin our happiness here as John Harbaugh has been hired by the New York Giants. No, you guys are not tripping. That was crazy. Real pause. Yeah. Yeah, lost power. The whole neighborhood did. But it's back on. So, yes, thank you for welcoming me back. I'm happy to be back. I can't believe that just happened. That was super awkward. Where was I? I was saying C. Kirk at the Texans had the $18 million per season contract, and he didn't have 1,000 receiving yards. So I have to assume, considering Wandale is 1,000-yard receiver, he's going to go ahead and get 18 to 20 million. That's what I think. Yep. That Florida infrastructure, guys. I am in Florida, so it's not about the Connecticut weather or anything like that. I'm in Florida. The weather is fine, actually. It's quite nice today. But I'm probably going to call the live stream pretty soon anyway. I only planned on doing 30 minutes, and we're up to almost 45 now. Plus, I don't want to have the power cut out on me again here, so I'm probably going to end it soon. But I'll go for another few minutes and then we'll call it. So, guys, drop your final questions, supers, thoughts, concerns, comments as we recap the Giants officially hiring John Harbaugh. Drop your thoughts and questions below. Hello, fellow Florida Giants fans. Any Florida Gators fans as well? I'm a Florida Giants fan and Florida Gators fan. Is Wandale 1,000 receiver if Neighbors doesn't get hurt? If I'm GM, that's what I'm arguing with money. I mean, yeah, but he put the numbers up though. And another team is going to say, yeah, we don't have a Neighbors. We need a Wandale for 1,000 yards. And that's why he's going to get paid. Number one guy I want in free agency, weirdly enough, is the fullback Patrick Ricard. I just want to see the Giants run an offense that features a fullback. And I think that you open up so many new opportunities with a check down option. You open up new opportunities in the running game, and he's really good and he makes sense. He's a perfect connection with Harbaugh. And then at 5th overall, I think taking the best player available is going to be a pick. And I think it's probably going to be Caleb Downs, safety out of Ohio State. So break down on him soon for sure. Will Cohen, what's up, man? My good friend over at Fireside Rangers. Will John Harbaugh go into the Hall of Fame as a Giant? God, I hope so. And I think so. Fireplace, thanks for the super saiyan. Do you think Harbaugh is more likely to trade back the 5th overall pick or stick and pick for BPA? I would probably assume he's more likely to stick and pick. But I think that the Giants are going to listen to offers this year, knowing that they need to get some extra assets. So I'm actually going to check something. How many times have the Ravens traded down in the first round of the NFL draft under John Harbaugh? Let's see if I can get a quick answer on that. Yes, I am a hockey fan. Unfortunately, I'm a Rangers fan. Tough time to be a Rangers fan. They're trading Artemi Panarin. They're retooling the roster in a statement by Chris Drury. Fire Drury, start over, keep Panarin. That's my take on it. Simple as that. So, interestingly enough, when the Ravens drafted Joe down to 18 and traded down to 26, then traded back up to 18. So, trading down from 8 to 26 is crazy. And moving back up to 18. So the Ravens made a lot of trade downs when Harbaugh was there in the first round. They did so in 2008, 2010, 2012, 2018, twice, 2019, and 2022. But a lot of these trade downs were small, like from 25 down to 43. That's a pretty big jump. But, leaving the first round, 2012, they went from 29 to 35. 2018, they went from 16 to 22. 2018, they went from 22 to 25. They traded down twice. 2019 went from 22 to 25, and 2022 they went from 23 to 25. Harbaugh really likes to pick 25th overall. So I think that trading down is a possibility, but probably not a likelihood. That seems to be, if they do trade down, it's not going to go far. Florida Giants fan in Orlando. I love Orlando. I spend a lot of time there. Not Alex, but what's up? I am Anthony. DB or wide receiver? Good chance it's either. BPA, though. Thank you, Will. I love watching Will Cohen and Eric Wilson and Colin Alcabes talk about the Rangers. Greatest Rangers breakdowns of all time over there on Fireside Rangers. Go check them out. Got to get somebody next to Dexter who could stop the run. Got to fill a hole. Hasn't been the same since we lost Leonard Williams. Absolutely true, which is why obviously I mentioned Caleb Downs with the 5th pick. Keep an eye on those Clemson boys, TJ Parker and Peter Woods. Breakdowns on them soon, but really good interior defensive linemen. Ravens never have 7 picks. They always seem to have more. True. They love to collect picks, which is why I think you could see a trade down happening. All right. Talk to you later, Sean. Thanks for stopping by. Oh, am I lagging a lot? No. You guys can't hear me. Oh, now you can. I don't know what's going on today. But we got 1,200 people watching, so appreciate every one of you. They did also trade up for Lamar. They trade up, they trade down, they move around. Baltimore's the best. Reckless, thank you. That I really do appreciate. Our coverage has been really good this year. I'm really proud of what we've accomplished so far in this offseason since the season ended not even 2 weeks ago. So I'm really, really excited about where we're going. This could be interesting, but I just don't see Charlie Weiss leaving the OC job in LSU. That's such a great job. Yeah, we have not been the same since Leonard Williams left. What is Darius Alexander's role next year? I think you try and develop him into a starter. Yeah. See, can you guys hear and see me? I lost power again. I got to call it. I'm going to have to end the live stream, guys. I'm sorry. They don't want me to celebrate the Harbaugh hiring with you all. So, live stream is coming to a close. Thank you, everybody who tuned in. Right now, there's still 1,300 people in here, despite the fact that I've lost power twice in the last 10 minutes. So, shout out to all of you, real fans. Love you guys. Appreciate the support. John Harbaugh, baby, next head coach of the New York Giants. Brighter days ahead. Can't wait for him. And again, thanks for tuning in, guys. Gonna have to end it, but I'll catch you all with another video about the Giants, of course, tomorrow. Stay tuned to the channel. So appreciate everybody. Have a good one, and let's go New York Giants. John Harbaugh.